Monkey Madness is a classic RuneScape quest that commonly divides the early game and mid-game of RuneScape. With a very healthy combat rewards and the ability to use the Dragon's Scimitar after quest completion, this is a very important quest for every account to complete. It's not without its hurdles though. You need to run through a rather arduous labyrinth while tanking damage from undead monkeys and traps, and above ground hidden poisonous spiders and scorpions, eagle-eyed ninja monkeys, and very beefy gorillas also stand in our way. Combat ramps up significantly, and protection prayers are generally required. There's a clear reason why level 65 combat is recommended for this quest, and we're drastically lagging behind here. Sure doesn't mean we won't try though, and to top it all off, we have an additional difficulty level tacked onto this. You see, this is Lorebound, a restricted Iron Man who can't use items unless the game has mentioned it, through dialogue, books, or in-game text. With the added difficulty of not being able to access wikis or guides, I rely on you, the viewer, to direct us through comments and through polls released at the end of every episode. Our poll results from last week saw that we get to tackle Monkey Madness. Now let's see if we can actually make it despite our current skills. We start our quest off like most gnome quests in the audience of King Narod Shireen. Thanks to our efforts in the Grand Tree quest in foiling the evil Glau's plans, the Great Gnome Tree has once again become healthy. Curious, we inquire as to what happened to Glau considering all he did, you know? It seems King Narod has a rather soft spot for him even after all he's done and had him resign rather than, an execution which would be appropriate. A new head tree guardian, Darrow, has replaced him and is learning quickly to fulfill his role. Lorebound caught something in his tone of voice though, and he asks what's the matter. Our previous adventure was to intercept and stop Glau's shipbuilding facilities, ships designed to be taken to war, and the lumber supplied from the dying Grand Tree. Yes, we recall the shipyard. Well, King Narod had sent his royal guard, the 10th Squad, to oversee and decommission the shipyard, using force if it was necessary, but they went missing. The king was worried that they may have not even reached the shipyard itself. Concerned for his royal guard, he wants to commission us to visit the shipyard and find out what happened to the 10th Squad. We get our warning, level 65, but I'm sure that won't be a significant hassle. We accept. King Narod hands us a royal seal, an item that we are going to keep on us for the rest of this quest as it identifies us as an envoy of the king. Chapter 1. Lorebound finds himself drawn back into Glau's web of deception and deceit. I think the Monkey Madness questline is the only one that does these little pop-ups, which is kinda cool. We take a quick glider down to Karamja, which completed a medium Karamja task, enter the shipyard, and come face to face with GLO Karanok. Apparently having worked for Glau, we inform him that Glau has been forced to resign from the king. That out of the way, I am looking for the 10th Squad on a completely unrelated task. Clearly taken a bit aback by the decommission order of the shipyard, and rather defensive about his knowledge of the 10th Squad, he does, however, mention that there has been some rather heavy, strong southern winds in the area, and it may have blown them off course. Karanok says that he will see to the decommission personally, and I should report back to the king. The glider really is super helpful. Reporting to the king, we tell him about Karanok. He sounds familiar, but he has a kingdom of like 50 gnomes. He can't be expected to remember all of their names. He reasonably inquires about the 10th Squad, and we report that they were likely blown off course by the southerly winds. He gives us some follow-up orders, which we are to deliver to Darrow just above. Hey Darrow, order from the king. Oddly, it's written in military code, and I'm somewhat concerned why he had to write it in that code, as I'm the only one who had access to it. After decoding, Darrow asks us if we're ready to go on an adventure, cause we're sure about to get one. Having gained the trust of the king through our threat neutralization found in what is considered basically the second in command of the gnome hierarchy, the king has decreed that I am to go on a recon mission. To the far south of Karamja, further than any gnome has purposely traveled, we are to be sent to investigate Karanok's claims that they were blown off course. Reading through all the dialogue options, we find that a large atoll populated by monkeys lies to the south, and they're quite unlike the monkeys that we've been in contact before. Darrow will make travel arrangements, and his colleague will accompany us on the journey. We also get a little more information on the 10th Squadron. Apparently they are elites among elites for the gnome forces. Sergeant Garkor, the leader, along with a high mage, 2 sappers, and several foot soldiers. Sappers are explained to us as engineers and munitions experts. Our travel companion to the atoll will be Wadar, but for security purposes, he's gonna lead me to the meeting area blindfolded. We arrive in a gnomish military hangar, Plan C in Glau's invasion plans. If sea and land failed, they were to come by air. Military gliders, much more capable than the standard gnomish gliders, are currently in a locked form, and a reinitialization needs to be completed in order to activate them. Oh, I do enjoy a good puzzle. Let's start the timer. 23 minutes and 24 seconds. Start to 25:58. That is 2 minutes, 34 seconds. Not a bad time if I do say so myself. With the gliders now active, Wadar is given the orders to escort me to the south. He does suggest we stock up on some food first, though. So before we set off, we take his advice, use the teleportation device, get out of here, convert our unfinished Harlander potions into energy potions, which is gonna prove invaluable on the island, equip ourselves with a combination of weight-reducing and best-in-slot defensive gear that we have access to, like our gnome amulet, along with some food and anti-poisons. Retrace our steps with Darrow, and then take off with Wadar. We arrive on an island known from this day forth as Crash Island. We speak to Lumdo, who is fiercely loyal to his sergeant and requires we prove we say who we are. Thank goodness for that royal seal. He confirms that he is Lumdo of the 10th Squadron and tells us of the goings-on since we last left the Grand Tree. The 10th Squad were en route to decommission the shipbuilding facilities, but not being weighed down by humans on the gliders, they were blown like leaves in the wind to this area. The wind drove them right into the treetops, which destroyed the canvas of several of their gliders. They then dragged what remained to the beachfront. The sergeant, while falling, noted a populated atoll to the west within sailing distance of here. The squad made boats from nearby wood, then launched to look for potential glider launch sites. Lumdo was instructed to watch the gliders, and our representative ID does not override his sergeant's orders. Wadar's orders, on the other hand, do. While we travel, we are given a little look into the plans of Glau. Karanok meets with the foreman, who is concerned about his employees' families. After all, without the shipyard, there is no money. Karanok, however, says not to worry, as Glau may have kept a few of his agents within the Gnomish Air Force. Concerning Chapter 2, we find Lorebound engaging in severe quantities of monkey business. With absolutely no direction from the quest guide, I guess we gotta do what we do best. Explore. Get knocked out by poisoned monkey arrows. We awake in prison, finding several other members of the 10th Squad. They suggest picking the lock and waiting for a shift change in order to escape. We attempt— oh, okay, so not while Gorilla Man is nearby. What the heck is this annoying little spider? His respawn timer's what, like 0 seconds? Gosh darn it, too many things going off at once. Arrows and random events and scorpions, and that's not helpful, Captain. Holy Hannah, those scorpions hit hard. We find Karam, the gnome assassin, hiding in the grass, and he suggests that we do the same, hide in the grass. Besides telling us he is trying to free his friends, he is of little use to us. We tank an arrow while exploring the island further before running into our main man, Sergeant Garkor. He seems well informed, so the king may have lied to us then. He knew the 10th Squad was already here on the island, and Garkor himself asked for my assistance. That is a little odd that the king sent an entire squad to decommission a shipyard, but I mean, then again, was the atoll their actual target? No, likely not. Their investigation of the courtyard could have led them here, specifically to the Monkey King, though. Curious as to why I was asked to come here, though. The more pressing matter for the sergeant is the release of their squad mates. Karam the assassin is working in the village, and his mage and sappers are directly below us as we speak. So why am I here, though? Oh, because I'm a human and closely related to monkeys. Zunok, the master mage, may be able to help disguise us as a monkey so we can better infiltrate the village. Ah, monkey assassin, run for the hills. Okay, so this is why we brought energy potions, and I am swiftly realizing that our food to energy potion rations are drastically off point. Adjusting our gear to be slightly more tanky and slightly less light with more better food, we make a second attempt. Everything was damaging me, but my stores were still holding steady. The skeleton monkeys really liked to attack in packs and got us pretty close to death at some times. As I looked at our food and potions nearing the end, I realized that even more food and less potions could be advantageous for future runs. We talked to Zukna, Zooknock. It seems the dialogue at the beginning either allows Zooknock or the sergeant to likely be paths forward. He does describe how the monkeys on the island were unusually wild, armed, and have an uncanny tactical ability though. By his phrasing, this does sound like there were a few casualties from the ensuing battle, and 3 of them were captured. Zooknock confirms that Garkor specifically asked King Nerode for us. Information was kept privy as it could have endangered us and the mission, which means there is a chance that King Nerode actually knows about Glau's agents somehow. Garkor decided that we needed a monkey insider, and the gnomes are not compatible with the transformation magic he knows. In order to properly infiltrate the monkeys, we'll need 2 things: a mode of communication and a way to transform our body. As Zooknock doesn't want to permanently turn us into a monkey, he suggests gathering some items that we can wear so we can transform at will. For the spells to have an effect, they all must be somehow related to monkeys. Communication in a monkey amulet, there's the unlock, and transformation in a monkey talisman, there's that unlock. And the reason these needed to be unlocked is because these quest items also have uses outside of the quest. So it was important that we got some dialogue for this. After going through all the other dialogue options and where to get each item, I teleported out because goodness knows I'm not running through that the opposite way. We grab a gold bar, our only gold bar by the way, head back to the island where we are recaptured by monkeys, re-escape, and check the map. I'm certain that the monkey dentures, an item I remember, were at the market somewhere in this area though. We just have to... Hey monkeys, can you lay off a little? Sweet Sarah Doman, can you take a chill pill, guys? Stop it. Okay. So we gotta get our stuff back. We re-revive on the island with tankier gear and almost die to the monkey archers. I don't really understand why sometimes you can get hit a 0 and then get transported, and then other times they just absolutely beat the crap out of you. We make our way to the east, then to the south, wrapping around the backside of the building. Accidentally find a secret tunnel, find the monkey dentures, and then long-range snipe our important items. Oh gosh, the ninja brigade is here. Aha! Fun stuff. Our energy potions, lobsters, and bass are still sadly out of reach, and I honestly don't expect them to last for too long. Breaking out again, we swing around back, realize we are now very out of food, and we check some boxes. Ooh, banana. We unlock iron scimitars by searching this crate, quite odd, but also thematically understandable considering the scimitar shop. Entering the hidden basement, we also unlock bronze scimitars, and then proceed to check a whole bunch of crates, battling off infinite spiders until we find the one crate we're looking for, the monkey amulet mold. Piecing out, resupplying, and taking our one remaining energy potion, we walk all the way back to Dario, saving our stamina for another fun run. Again, we're pounded by enemies and arrive with 20 points of energy left. We likely can't run the entire way without potions, so I'll have to keep that in mind when we come back here again. Handing him the bar, the mold, and the dentures, Zooknock gives us the monkey bar and tells us that it needs to be formed in a place of religious monkey significance. Reloading again, we tick-eat our way into surviving a death. Lobsters heal 12, and we last tick ended with 11 health. That is nasty. We escape from prison, head to the monkey temple, and are immediately, repeatedly, and non-consensually gorilla punched into a corner, where we then have to wait for the gorillas to reconvene into a non-blocking path from the entrance of the trapdoor. Yes, we can see the fires from here. It seems the basement in this temple is a great place for the smelting. We smelt the amulet, add the ball of wool, and turn it into a wearable amulet, and get a little bit complacent to the zombie monkey damage, almost dying in the process. We climb back up, and are greeted with yet another punch fest, only to huddle in a corner and push the trauma down, way, way down where it can't hurt anyone ever again. Finally, my least favorite part of the quest that I remember. Hey monkey child who is easily manipulated, I'm your uncle. Okay, yeah, I deserved that one. Oh, you need 20 bananas, and if you get them, your aunt will give you a toy from the magic shop. Oh, banana. Here at 20 bananas, small child. Will you let me borrow your toy? Man, this is wrong. Alright, let's steal this child's toy, normal glider to Karamja, grab monkey remains that Zooknock mentioned, hope bones will work, and then make the run all over again. Thankfully, the bones do indeed count as remains. He enchants them, tells me of their limitations, and when we get yet again whisked away by the exposition team. Oh, what, Waydar is the mole? Samarakian scum, you'll pay for your crimes once we figure out a way to add the attack function to your dialogue tree. Again, reporting back to the island, Yep, okay, we are now entirely a monkey now. The local creatures don't attack us, and the monkeys let us in the front gate. And holy crap, our items are still there. Okay, a little bit wasteful, but I mean, I'll take what I can get. I had all but given up on seeing those energy potions again. Garkor, clearly impressed by Zuknok's work, fills us in on the plan, and thankfully, I'm the right kind of monkey. Bud, I am the only kind of monkey that I can attack. You are lucky you get to see this type of monkey. He suggests that I act as an envoy from Karamja looking for an alliance. We need his trust in order to succeed with Garkor's plans. To gain entry to the king's chamber, though, we require the permission of the head monkey guard, who goes by the name of Kruk. Damn, Kruk, why you have to live so far? Ooh, selfie spot. Okay, so diplomacy works really well here. Ask and ye shall receive. Hello, what Garkor said? We need to earn the king's trust, and to prove our resilience by infiltrating the Ardoin Zoo and freeing a monkey from the enclosure. I am surprised the Grigri actually works here. Maybe the magic has more to do with the proximity to other monkeys and not entirely with Zuknok's power? By talking to the monkey minder outside the cage, we gain entry. Just speaking to a monkey allows us to put one in our backpack. Okay, so it seems like the Ardoin teleport cloak does not work as the monkey disappears. Okay, seems like the tree teleportation also causes the monkey to go poof. Looks like I'm legging again. Once again, for a third time, get put in the cage and talk to this very long-winded monkey. Thank goodness for our graceful set and energy potions. We arrive back on Ape Atoll, monkey in pack, and talk again to Awuwugay. Noting our resourcefulness and haste, he invites us to stay on the island for as long as I need. Garkor, happy we won the king's trust, unfortunately is a little unironically sad, as our efforts may have been in vain. Bunkwicket and Waymoton have reported they overheard a rather disturbing conversation. Drat. It seems King Awuwugay is in cahoots with Glau. Rightfully concerned killing the 10th squad would spark war between the gnomes and the monkeys, Karanok claims that they can blame the humans for this, and the resulting profits can be shared between them. Intrigued, he asks how they're going to take care of the gnomes. Well, by borrowing another of Glau's pets, of course. Thankfully, Garkor has thought of countermeasures along with Zuknok. The team teleportation spell is meant to teleport all of the 10th squad into a trap. The plan is to use this trap to our advantage by fooling it to think we're all members of the squad, including us. Zuknok identified the spell is linked to the 10th squad's sigils, so he gives us one and officially welcomes us to the 10th squad. By wearing it, we'll be teleported along with the rest of the squad, and it will likely be a rather tough fight. We get our ranged gear on. Considering the attack speed of our U shortbow, I feel like it's our best chance of success. Loaded with our best food, we use the sigil and teleport in. Oh boy, that is a level 195 jungle demon, alright. And he can hit a 17. That is not good. I know there's a strategy that's a 20. That's really not good. Let's see if we can hide on the outskirts at 21. Oh my gosh. What is the max hit on this guy? This is not meant to be beaten without protection spells. Holy balls, that's a 30 and so not cool. Thankfully, it seems this corner is out of his aggro range. Unfortunately, it also is out of the gnome's aggro range. I run to the southwest, who put traps here, and I find that I'm still out of the boss's range, and now the gnomes are whittling down the boss. About 4.5 minutes later, the demon starts to look low. We use a sip of our defense potion and head in to try to deal a killing blow. As expected, he hits us hard, but it seems like his melee isn't as potent as his magic, so we close in. Fortunately, accuracy be damned, the sheer quantity of arrows does the demon in, as we land one beautiful, 1 damage headshot to finish him off. Garkor congratulates us on our impressive display of skill and tells us to report to the king, telling him that they suffered 0 casualties. So I guess that monkey attack earlier on wasn't fatal to anyone? Okay, cool, that's good to know. Zuknok then teleports us out to behind enemy lines. Let's never do that again, please. We use our Ardoin cloak and then go to the tree to talk to the king. Yes, time has passed King Narod Shireen, a whole 2 hours. We cut our report short, saying that the king will likely not believe us and Sergeant Garcourt will be sending him one soon enough. We do tell him that the squad is all alive and we suffered no casualties. Oh, you caught that we there? Yes, technically I am now in your 10th squad. Hope you don't mind. He does not. He rewards us with several diamonds and 10k cash. Monkey madness. Complete. The king suggests I sign up for training though, since technically I am a royal guard now and there is a mandatory training program. Darrow runs it upstairs. Hey Darrow! Oh shoot, I get to choose what to specialize in? Attack and defense please then. Haha, those are big numbers. 52 strength, 47 hit points, 47 attack, and all the way up to 44 defense, increasing our total combat level by 5. Almost at the recommended level to do monkey madness. Wait, 44 defense? You say? Hey there, Oziak, buddy and friend. Remember that overpriced armor that you have for sale that we unlocked? Yeah, well, take my money, damn it. The results of our efforts, dear viewers. Not only do we now have access to Ape Atoll and our second to last recipe for disaster subquest, but once we get a higher attack level, we can use the Dragon Scimitar, if we ever unlock it, that is. As I reorganize our combat tab to be more level-based, our collection of level 40 gear is growing by the episode. It feels like this episode was very linear and had very few unlocks though. It'd be a real shame if I secretly ground out fishing trawler for the angler's outfit, then proceeded to do a bunch of temporos, get a whack ton of fish, and begin the spirit angler conversion process. Yeah, the RFD Monkey Madness quest has a hardy level 70 cooking level requirement, and while we can technically just boost from 65 onwards, I'd rather minimize or remove that gap, if able to, just by the beginning of the next episode. Obviously, we'll be taking on the RFD subquest in the next episode, but it will likely only be a small portion of our time. So what other quest would you like to see Lorebound complete? Looking at our remaining RFD subquests, this is the first time our quest list has had less than 4 options remaining. We have Underground Pass, Shiloh Village, and the Troll quest lines once again in hopes for unlocking the insect repellent. And our 4th option was chosen out of the suggestions of our members-only messages. Don't get me wrong, I love all the support I get from all of you, but some of your poll results are, well, often the easy way out tends to be the most popular. Those who have subscribed and joined tend to be very invested in the series and not only want the success of the series, but they want it to last a little while, so their responses tend to be more directed in line with the series longevity in mind. With that said, our 4th poll option will be from Harry Enjoys Ducks, who said Valramore would be fun, as lots of NPCs explain a lot and Moons of Peril in particular would be really cool. Very nice suggestion, Harry. It has been added to the poll. Speaking of our main polls, unlike the occasional members polls, these come out every single episode and can be found on the Relix main channel posts tab. Hope to see you all there. Thank you so much for watching today's eventful episode. I am so happy there weren't any absolutely incomprehensible walls we had to climb. And a very special thank you to our High Alchemy channel members as well. Ahumaya, Harry Enjoys Ducks, Rivacious, and Nantuko Avatar. If you wish to help the channel grow, there's also plenty of ways to help outside of becoming a member as well. You can like, comment, subscribe, or if you're new here, watch the series from the start. The playlist is right here. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodles!